let's see. Where do I start? It is December 20th at 9 a.m. and I am going to the ER 4 days before Christmas. So throughout this whole cancer journey, from not even just the second one, from start to finish from the first one, the last 4 years of my life, I haven't been able to celebrate Christmas at all just because, well, I've either been in a hospital or in a position of my life where I'm not allowed or shouldn't be around people, right? And it was my goal this year to be able to celebrate Christmas. And here I am 4 days before Christmas, or 5 days, and I'm going to the ER because I think I'm sick, which sucks a lot. A lot. And you could be asking, it's like, well, if you don't feel like you don't sound or look sick, but this one's a little different for me because obviously I don't have a fever. Well, that's not obvious, but I don't have a fever or anything, but I feel weak, fatigued. My body doesn't feel right at all, which is concerning. I keep coughing up loogies and, all kinds of like basic stuff that you would expect when you're cold. When you have a cold. And for anyone who has had cancer or knows someone going through cancer, you should never be too safe with these type of things. The one part that like is really concerning for me, honestly, is never before have I felt any kind of like swelling or pain in my lymph node area, like your lymph nodes, like ever in my entire life. But this is the first time, like over here, there's like a giant knot or welt or swelling, and I'm assuming it's a lymph node, hoping it's just a lymph node. And that's really when I told my doctor that. He said, you need to go to the ER right now and, get it scanned out. So we're going to go there and hopefully it's just me being sick. Let's go check it out. All right, we just left the house and I was lucky enough to have Lexi drive back all the way from work to take me because for some reason I needed a ride, and apparently everyone else thought going to the ER by yourself was not a good idea. I don't know why, but they were like, no, you have to have someone take you. I'm like, okay, that doesn't make sense, but we're on our way. Hopefully it's just nothing. Hopefully I am just a little sick or something, but we'll figure it out. And yeah, here we go. All right, we have made it to the Mayo Clinic emergency room. We're gonna go inside and sit there for about 8 hours until we get one thing done. But who knows? Actually, maybe it'll be different. What do you think? Will it be different? We usually come late at night. I've only been to the ER really late at night, and then it takes a long time. So it is. The parking lot is full. I don't know. It's 10 a.m. We'll see if it's. The parking lot is full. We'll see if it's any shorter. Hopefully, it's shorter. All right, so we have checked in. They went and did my little blood pressure and stuff. You just saw it. Asked me all the basic questions, like how am I feeling, what symptoms am I having, blah, blah, blah. And now I'm waiting in the waiting room until they call my name to get sent back to another waiting room, and then officially like the little ER room, but I'll show you. I also think it's kind of cool. They have a new wristband. Basically, there's a new wristband. You can see right there, that bottom one. And it's a patient tracker wristband. It's this new thing that they implemented at the Mayo to make sure like you are on a schedule so you don't get forgotten about or have a prolonged time. So it's like a data device that makes sure you kind of are getting help in an appropriate amount of time. So I'm really curious to see if that changes how long I wait throughout all this. So, and then Lexi's already got her little workstation going because, we need to make money. We have made it to the room in the ER. A little more scary looking than the other rooms, but this is kind of what it is. Same exact layout, but with a lot more, emergency type equipment. So and I have to put that on the gown, so I'll be right back. All right, I am in the bed and in my gown, and it is officially 11:30, so I don't know how much longer or quicker that was than it normally would be, but I think it was quicker. We were only in that waiting room for like an hour plus. I guess it was 10 to like 11:30, so not too bad, but this is usually where the long stuff happens. And good results. All right, so I finally got my IV. Lexi started to cry when they did it. She didn't cry. She was like, "Oh God!" Every time you'd think we would be used to it at this point. I'm fine, but Lexi still can't look at him. So yeah, they drew a bunch of blood, and then they even did blood cultures. So those are like the taller ones. I'll put a little video in here, but like the taller ones that are gonna test for like diseases, viruses, and whatever, bad stuff that's in my blood. Hopefully it doesn't show anything, but they're gonna take probably like 3 to 5 days to come back with results. So yep, but IV's in, doctor's on his way. So here we go. All right, so the doctor just came in, kind of told me everything they wanted to tell me. He was like, "Yep, you have a swollen lymph node, blah blah blah." Basically, he seemed very like not concerned, which is great. He's like the fact that, the swelling has gone down and, you're starting to feel a little bit better is like great, good to hear. He did want to order a chest x-ray because out here in Arizona, he's worried about something called valley fever, which, is just like, I don't know, bacteria that lives in the dirt, and when it blows up air or it rains a lot, it can go in your lungs, and it's just like a bacteria that grows. He also sent off my blood and lab cultures. So, yeah, hopefully it shouldn't be too much longer, and then we can get a chest x-ray and then leave and wait to hear back from my actual primary doctor, the results from everything. So, yep. All right, so I just got back from the x-rays, and unfortunately they didn't let me record in there, but it was like 5 minutes. Lexi, how long was I gone?
5, 10 minutes.
Five, yeah, five. It was super quick, and they didn't let me record in there, so it's fine. And hopefully at this point, I can kind of be unattached from everything and start going home because I am starving, very, very hungry. So it is now 3 o'clock. We've been here all day, and I wanted to share what my ER lunch looks like. I told them I was starving, like, what's next? And they're like, "Oh, you can eat." And I'm like, "Oh, does that mean I get to leave?" And they're like, "Oh, no, not yet, but we can bring you food." This is what I got brought: a water and 2 graham crackers. All right, we just got discharged. We got Lexi and I here, gonna go get some food. Got the instructions, and I even got my blood labs and my electrolytes to look over. So that'll be fun. I'll share with you guys what they are when I get a second. But we're still waiting. It'll be about 2 hours for the COVID test to come back, and then like 3+ days for the blood cultures to come back. So, but overall, they seem pretty good. Like it's just gonna go away, and I got a prescription for. That's for me. What is it? I don't know. All right, so I just got back home from the hospital, and it is 4:55, almost 5 o'clock. So yeah, I kind of wanted to share. Overall, I think I'm okay. The doctors, like, since the swelling has gone down, they weren't concerned. They didn't do anything. They took a chest X-ray to check for pneumonia and valley fever. They did all of my labs, and I will know in a couple hours about my flu and COVID test. And then at the same time, I will be about 3 days before I get the blood cultures back to test for like blood viruses and stuff. But I did want to share my labs. So this is right here. This is just discharge paperwork that you get every time you go to the Mayo or pretty much any hospital. I don't need it, which is good. But if it's like your first time ever leaving an ER, you should read it. Read over it. So first thing I want to show you is this guy right here. You can check it out, but hopefully that doesn't have personal information. But so just some of the key components that I wanted to look at was the hemoglobin is at 12.8, which is actually pretty good for me right now, considering I'm still in the mix of transplant. My platelet count is a little low. It's at 105. I hover around the 105 to 110 right now, and it should be closer to 140 if you're a guy. And then specifically the one that I really wanted to look at was my neutrophils, which is basically my overall like immune system and neutrophil count. It's been down quite a bit lately, but actually, even though I feel sick, it shows that it went up, almost 0.5% in the last like 6 days. So I'm currently at 1.95, and I went in 6 days ago and it was at 1.36. And then 2 weeks before that, everything I had was like way under one, which is bad. That's where you become neutropenic and super susceptible for diseases and stuff like that. But overall, my labs on a basic level, blood level, look really, really good. And then here's another chart that I thought was really awesome. It is my electrolytes. And I actually am very above average when it comes to my electrolyte stuff. So, I mean, you look at your potassium, sodium, creatine, calcium, glucose, and a big one, magnesium. And it kind of just told me my levels. And then I do a lot of research for this independently because I think it's just good to know. And I take a lot of, electrolyte supplements given the condition I'm in. And I'm a huge advocate for it. So, yep. And then I also got, this is what I was trying to say in that other video, got a prescription for an antibiotic. That's what I was trying to say. It's called Augmentin. So this is called a pocket prescription. So this is a prescription that I can fill when I need it, right? The doctor kind of explained to me, if you are getting better, you don't need to be taking antibiotics, considering I'm already on one for my transplant treatment. He doesn't need to add one unless it starts getting worse. So if I continue to get better and the swelling in my neck and lymph nodes continues to go down and my cough and, night sweats continues to decrease throughout these next couple of days, I can pretty much just throw this away or, I don't know what to do with it. But then again, if it does start like this starts irritating me more and more and I start coughing or something else, then I can just go into my pharmacy, which is the Mayo Clinic, and get this thing filled out. So hopefully that helps. Hopefully it gives you an idea of kind of what my counts look like while I'm sick. And what is this? I'm close to 6 months now of post-transplant. So yeah, if you have any questions, let me know below. And as soon as I hear some info back, I will try to roll it on forward. And sorry about the little janky setup. I'm currently still in the midst of organizing and setting up the office. So fun stuff. All right, so it is the next morning, and we have good news. I looked back at my results, and I do not have COVID or either of the flus, so that's great. The results came back completely negative. We're still waiting on blood cultures, but honestly, at this point, I woke up. I still had a ton of night sweats and everything, and I couldn't sleep through the night. But this morning, like the swelling of my neck has gone down significantly. The pain has gone down significantly, and I'm starting to feel a lot better. Obviously, I can still feel that I'm pretty sick, but um, just from the help that I got yesterday from the doctors and their advice and everything, I don't think I'm going to go fill my antibiotics prescription. I just think I'm going to continue getting better kind of naturally, and because I'm seeing like forward progress, I don't think I need to start taking additional antibiotics or other meds. It kind of sucks because at this point, every little small illness or sickness or ER visit to me is just absolutely terrifying. I don't know any other way of saying it. It's like this PTSD type of thing, like kind of how I talked about with the bone marrow transplant. I mean, not transplant, the bone marrow biopsy. It's just like I never had any of this before, and now ever since the relapse, it doesn't matter if it's a cough, a cold, a surgery, or this ER visit to see what the swelling in my lymph node was. It's just this PTSD. But either way, thank you so much for watching. I hope this helps you if you guys ever go to the ER or having some kind of cancer scare. Let me know if you have any questions. Drop them in the comments below. And like always, keep getting 1% better. And I'll see you in the next one. Peace.